Greetings everyone! Today we're going to explore writing a linear equation from a graph. To start off, you'll need your foldable for the first two examples, and then you'll need your notebook so that we can add just a couple extra quick examples. Please pause this video until you have all of that ready to go. All right, let's take a look at the first tab that's called Slope Intercept form from a graph. We are going to fill in the blanks provided to you. The first step is to identify the slope from the graph. So you're going to count the rise over run, which is what we did last unit, okay? So identify the slope. Next, you're going to identify the Y-intercept. Remember, we're looking for where is it on the y-axis. Next, you're going to substitute the slope and the y-intercept into the slope-intercept formula, hence its name. So once you know those two numbers, we're going to plug them in. All right, here's the first example that's in your foldable. So step one, we want to identify the slope. If I count and do this on your graph, 1, 2, 3, 4, rise, 4, run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. But what am I missing? Is that line going up or down? That line's going down, so that is a negative number. So my m is negative 4/5. Step two is to look at your y-intercept. Where does your graph cross the y-axis? It crosses at 1, 2, 3. So my b is positive 3. Step three is to write your equation in slope-intercept form. Just like the previous lesson, I set up a template first and I need to fill in the blanks. The slope goes in front of the x. The y-intercept is added or subtracted depending on its sign on the end. So I have a plus 3. That's my final equation. Let's take a look at the next set of steps for point-slope form from a graph. Your first step is to identify your slope from the graph again. So again, you're looking for your rise over run. Next, you're going to identify a point on the graph. It can be any point. So here's what's fun. Some of you might pick different points and you'll still be right. Step three is to substitute the slope and the point into point-slope formula. All right, let's take a look at this example. I'm going to go through the 3 steps. Step one is to identify your slope. So if I count, I've got a rise of 2, a run of 3. Is that line going up or down? It's going up, so that's going to be a positive. So my m is positive 2/3. Let's take a look at step 2. I need to pick a point somewhere on my graph. So it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick this one. So for consistency together, I'm going to pick the point 1, 4. That's it. Just write down a point. Step 3, we want to write in point-slope form. So I'm going to have y with a gap equals m parentheses x with a gap. So the slope always goes in front of the x. Which number goes with my x parenthesis? Well, the x number from my point. But remember the rule of changing signs. Instead of +1, it's going to be a -1. Then my y value is 4. It's going to go with the y. But instead of +4, make it a -4. You got to change the signs. We just created our point-slope formula. Let's add just a couple quick ones to your notebook, okay? Now for this one, yes, I want you to do a little drawing. So just write EX3, draw a quick coordinate axis, okay? It can be sloppy. Make 2 markings going down, and then draw a line going through that second marking. That's all you need, nothing fancy. Okay? Let's talk about that equation. It's unique, it's horizontal. Okay, so what is its slope? Its slope is 0. Anytime there's a 0, it's special. So remember, horizontal lines, the equations are, it goes through the y at -2. So be careful with those horizontal and vertical line equations. Let's do a quick vertical one, just as a reminder for when you look back in your notes. So yes, please put this in your notebook. EX4, do just a quick coordinate axis. Be sloppy like mine. Make 5 hash marks on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then draw a line going through the 5. That's all you need, okay? Nothing fancy. This line's vertical, so remember its slope is undefined. So as I look at this, if it's undefined, it goes through x at 5. So remember, horizontal and vertical lines should be the quickest equations you write. The letter and the number, that's all you need. You do not need to jot these examples down. Let's just take a quick look. So for example, if I start with the blue line, so just listen and watch. It goes through the y-axis at 0, and it has a slope of rise 2, run 3. So the blue line has rise 2, run 3, and it goes through the point 0, 0. So I'm going to use slope intercept form for this one because mx plus b, which means I don't even actually need the 0. Let's take a look at the purple line. I'm going to do point slope for this one because I have the point 3, 2, and its slope is rise 2, run 1. So my m is 2 over 1, and my point is 3, 2. So point slope form. My slope is 2. My x number is 3, so I'm going to write a minus 3. My y value is 2, so I'm going to write a minus 2. On this one, I'm just going to encourage you to pause the video, try writing these equations of the lines, just doodle them somewhere, it doesn't matter, you don't need the drawing, just write the equations, and then press play again to check your answer. I'm going to talk about the decreasing line here first, the purple line that I've made. Okay, I have the point 2, 0. I don't know the y-intercept. So I'm going to do point slope form. Its slope, if I check, is down 2, run 3. So -2/3. I'm going to use the point 2, 0, which means a minus 2 and a plus 0. You could use a different point though. Here's the thing. Let's say you use the point -1, 2. Then maybe your equation read y minus 2 equals -2/3 and an x plus 1. We're both right, okay? So you could use this point here. You could use 5, -2. So maybe you have y plus 2, -2/3, and an x minus 5. We're all right. Let's take a look at the blue. I'm going to make this a blue line here. An option here is my slope is rise 4, run 1. So no matter what, I have a slope of 4. I could use the point, again, of 5, -2, which would mean a minus 5 and a plus 2. Or I could use the point 6, 2, and I could say a minus 6 and a minus 2. Look how many options we have. That's why you have to get your thinking understood so that you don't confuse it with a neighbor or a friend's work. All right, that's our lesson for writing equations from a graph. If you need help, rewatch this. It's posted in Google Classroom. But next, I do want you to check Google Classroom. What's your task at hand after this lesson? Okay, what do you need to finish? If you do finish everything, then also check PowerSchool for anything missing and make sure you ask questions, okay? Graphs can be a little bit tough with the points, okay? Teachers utilize the Saber Center, utilize rewatching these videos. And until next time, have a good one.